Hi Stampers, this is Amy Whelan. Thanks so much for joining me today at amy'sinklings.com. Today I wanted to show you a technique called reverse masking, so come join me. We're going to start with a piece of Whisper White cardstock, and what I did beforehand, just to save a little bit of time, was I ran the bold butterflies thinlet through my Big Shot to create a window. Now if you have circle punches like the 2.5 inch circle punch, or even anything that has a bold or big opening, you can use punches as well. But I just used this one because I wanted the shape of a butterfly. This is going to be my mask. It's going to protect the cardstock from getting any ink except right here where I want it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to paper clip this in place. Now we did this last night at my mother-daughter stamp club. And typically I would have punched that through maybe a sticky note and had the sticky note use its own adhesive to keep the mask in place. But because I was working with some younger girls, I thought that the paper clips would be a better idea. Now what we're going to do is we're going to use our sponge daubers and our ink pads. And there's really no right or wrong way to do this, but I'm going to start with crumb cake. Now with our sponge daubers, you get 5 to a pack. Most people will designate them to a particular color. Now I've used them before and have been able to rinse them and use them in different colors, but after last night I think that these will be designated to these ink colors. So this is crumb cake, and what you want to do, I'm going to get some scrap paper. Okay, as I was suggesting last night, go ahead and ink up your sponge dauber and try it first on a piece of scrap paper, because sometimes it's very tempting to start doing that and you have these hard circles. Get a feel for what the ink looks like when it's going down and then go ahead and get started. Now I'm going to just lightly start applying ink, and I found when I did the one that I just showed you moments ago, I actually applied 5 different colors, and actually went back to make some of them even darker. So this takes a little bit of time, but it's really pure magic when you reveal it by taking the mask off. So this is crumb cake, and I will probably come back and do a little bit more of crumb cake. Let's go on to the second color, which is Old Olive. And I'm going to switch my sponge dauber to my Old Olive one. It's also a good idea to start it first on a piece of scrap paper, because if you have a brand new ink pad, it could be super juicy and you just want to get a feel for how that ink is going to go down. Now if you want to rub it, you can. What I was telling the girls earlier though is if you're going to rub into the center. Don't go out, because then you'll peel back your mask. So if you do want to rub, make sure you're going in the direction of inside the opening. Alright, so far I've put down crumb cake and Old Olive. I'm going to move on to the third color, which is Watermelon Wonder, and start applying that as well. Now when I chose these colors, I did have in mind nature, so from ground on up. So dirt, grass, sunrise, blue sky. It's kind of where I was coming from when I did this. And you'll notice when you compare this one to that one, this one has much more color, and that's why I was saying earlier, when you do this, you're probably going to want to go back and apply more color to make it darker. It really is just a matter of preference. I can already tell that I'm going to want more green for sure. So that was Watermelon Wonder. Now we're going to move on to Island Indigo. I lost it for a minute. And I switched my sponge dauber. Look, I had everything color coded last night so that we wouldn't accidentally put the wrong dauber, put a dauber in the wrong ink pad. You know what I meant. Alright. Now notice how the mask is starting to peel up, so just be real careful to keep it down. And that's why earlier I was saying if you want to rub, be sure you're rubbing in away from the mask so you don't peel it back up. Okay. Now what you can do is use a little bit of our two-way glue pen on the back of the mask and let it dry, and then it does take on the characteristics of a Post-it note because it's a two-way glue. Either it'll hold something in place forever, or if you let it dry, then it works, it's releasable like a sticky note. Alright, we'll go on to the last color, which is Wisteria Wonder. And I'll switch again the sponge daubers again. Alright, so as you can see, I've just been applying this lightly, overlapping, because I want a gradual blend of color. I don't want to see a sharp line where the Lost Lagoon stops and the Wisteria Wonder begins. So I'm kind of blending them all together. Now that I have all the colors, Crumb Cake, Old Olive, Watermelon Wonder, Lost Lagoon, and Wisteria Wonder, I am going to go back and start applying more color, definitely the brown and the green, and then I'll be back to stamp the image on top. Alright, so I've gone back and I've applied some more color to make it a darker, deeper, richer color. Alright, so now we're going to stamp these little flowers, beautiful flowers, from the stamp set called Flowering Fields. This is one of the 12 items that you can earn for free during Celebration, which lasts through March 31st, with qualifying orders. And this one is a lovely, lovely set. And I like that it was thin and wispy, and that's exactly what I wanted to be stamped on top. So we're going to use Memento ink this time. I'm going to go ahead and ink this up. And again, I always stamp on a scratch piece of paper first. Now notice I've kept the mask in place. I'm not going to take it off yet. So let's put this one down first. Okay. And let's move on to this one. Okay. That one there. Lovely. And, oh, it looks like I'm using a little different one this time. Okay, we'll put this one there. And then we'll take the butterfly that comes in the set and stamp it. Yeah, I was always telling the girls, excuse me, I was telling the girls last night, make sure you're stamping it right side up. And there it is. Let me show you something before I go on. Some of the girls last night were getting a line, and let me show you what I'm talking about. When you ink your stamp up way too much, see how I'm getting ink on that line? Well, then what they were then doing was they were stamping and they were rocking the stamp, and they were, I'm over exaggerating, but they were getting lines like that. So my suggestion, if you're getting that, is make sure you're not over inking, and then when you stamp, stamp down and lift straight back up. I didn't even push that hard, and see, it's actually a thinner, wispier image there. So don't over ink, and then don't over press, and don't rock, and you'll get something beautiful. Alright, so now we get to the fun part of the reveal. So now that my stamping is done, I'm going to take the mask off. You ready? Ta-da! Isn't that gorgeous? I love it. Alright, so last night we also took our Wink of Stella pen. I like the one in clear. We also have one in gold. It's in the Occasions catalog, but it's a really fun way to add a little bit of glitz and glimmer. I'm going to hold the original sideways in just a little bit to help you see it. It's a little hard to see when you're not looking at it in person. Let's see if you can see. Let's see. Okay, see that there? Yep. See how it's kind of shimmery? That's what the Wink of Stella is doing. Alright, now I wanted to add something to the bottom, and I wanted a really pretty greeting. This is one of our stamp sets in our new Occasions catalog. It's called Rose Wonder, and it comes with a beautiful set of thinlits as well. But I love the stamp that says, "What a beautiful blessing you are to me." So let me go ahead and get that one out. Alright, now We've done all this beautiful work on this, and now we're going to stamp something at the bottom. And the girls were getting a little nervous because they didn't want to ruin it. So again, what I want you to do is practice your stamp on a piece of scratch paper. Yep, that looks nice. I inked it well enough, and then stamp it in place. Yeah, so pretty. Love it. One of the girls last night said, "This is my favorite project we've ever done." That always makes my heart sing. So there you have it. That's reverse masking. And I hope you give it a try. Again, I want to remind you, you can use these fun shapes that you get through Thinlits, but you can also use the large circle punches or scallop punches and create windows. What I'm referring to as this, you can make those windows with your punches as well. If you're not currently linked up with a Stampin' Up! Consultant, please reach out to me at amysinklings@gmail.com, because I would love to show you how, with a qualifying order, you can actually get this stamp set for free, which is the one that I used. We are in the middle of our Celebration promotion now through March 31st. And for qualifying orders, which is $50 worth of product, you can choose any of the items in here for free, and that's for every $50 that you purchase. See, this is the one that we used. So I would love to help you do that. If you are ready to place an order already though, and if you're not on my website, head on over to amysinklings.com. I have a Shop Now button in the upper right hand corner, and you can place your order immediately. Thanks so much for coming by Amy's Inklings. I always enjoy teaching you something new. Come again. Bye-bye.